Hello, this is Patrick with New Jersey's Outdoor Adventures YouTube channel. Very excited to have Domenick and Noelle on the channel today. They're going to give us a tour of their camper conversion by Drifter Vans, so join us.
Hi, I'm Domenick.
And I'm Noelle.
And this is our 2022 Ford Transit all-wheel drive EcoBoost high top extended van. We've got a really great build by Drifter Vans in Michigan. We'll start with some of the outside components. We've got the 16-inch black Rhino wheels. The actual name is Sequoia. We've got the Falcon Wild Peak all-terrain tires. If you look up top, you'll see the Fiamma awning, as well as the Flatline Company roof rack. We have AM Auto bunk windows. Really great window, we like it a lot. We have one on the other side as well. And then we have the most important thing to notice here is we have the two LED lights up at the top, super helpful for loading in and out of the van, as well as backing it up. This is a factory tow hitch from Ford, heavy duty. And then of course Ford Transit 250 all-wheel drive EcoBoost. On the external here we have the Furion 30 amp connector. We have outside water connection. We have the Flatline ladder that brings us all the way up to the roof rack. We have two 175 watt solar panels as well as a Furion air conditioner. At the bottom you'll see gray water tank release, which is pretty standard. And then we also have a small window here for a sitting area in the van, which we're going to walk you through as well. We also have the 360 camera here, which is really great when you are moving the vehicle in and out of tight spots. Believe it or not, you could, if you take your time, you could parallel park this thing in real tight spots with that camera. There's another camera here in the front as well, which you'll notice. And then up at the top, you'll see our LED light. All right, so now we'll take you through the inside. We'll tell you a little bit about Drifter Vans as well. We'll just kind of walk through maybe some of the stages of the van and then maybe talk through some of the building components. I'm gonna start real quick with what I think is one of my favorite things. We have the isotherm fridge, and we built this specifically to be able to use outside of the van as well as inside of the van. So getting your groceries into it is easy when you're out here, and if you need to use it as a cooler, it works really great for that as well. And then of course from the inside, it's easy to access too. We have hallway light when you're getting into the van right away. This will light it up real fast for you. Super helpful. Actually, there it is. I turned it off. A little bit of a high step. We have a step that we don't have here just here for the moment, but you'll see some of the tile, which matches the kitchen tile, which you're going to see as well. And then we have the oak floor as well. And we have a bench with a toilet and a lagoon table, and we'll show you more of that in a moment. The floor is insulated. It's about 2 inches of insulation. And then we have, I think, R30 insulation throughout all of the walls as well. We have the bug wall, which we won't pull down right now, but it is something that we find to be really, really valuable. The magnets in the middle are great. If you can check out Bug Wall, and they'll show you some demos on that. Let's jump in here. First thing you'll notice is the swivel chairs. This was something that we really wanted to make sure that we had. It makes for a great space for when we're sitting, as well as if we have a guest in here sitting as well. We have additional storage at the top. This is all factory, which we had built when we ordered the van, as well as we have the larger screen, Apple CarPlay, navigation, all the things you could ever want while you're driving. We have the lagoon table here, which will detach and will restore, and I'll show you that in a moment. We also have these little drapes, and I'll show you real quick how, when we go to sleep, how easy it is. They just drop down and we're set. They match the seat, which you'll see right here. It's kind of like an inside-outside material. As we move into the kitchen a little bit, you'll see this extra cutting space or place to cook. That was really intentional for us from a design standpoint. This is acacia wood. We really like the color of it. We worked with their design team for a long time to find just the right colors. We have a pine ceiling, which goes all the way through to the back. If you notice, there's a little bit of an arch here, which we like as well. With the Furion AC. Most of the electronics throughout the van are Furrion, which is, I think, very popular in the RV space. We have some decorative pieces here as well. Our electronics, we have our Webasto heater, our water gauge for our tanks in the back, and then in addition we have controls for our energy for all of our power inside. Here's our cabinets or our kitchen. I'll pull them out real quick. This is almost like a little bit of an extra space for fun things that we need. And then in here we have all of our place settings. Try to find aesthetics that really worked really well with the van. My wife did a great job finding all of that great stuff. And then some other drawers that we have for storage when we need it. And then at the bottom, pots and pans for cooking. You'll notice the toe kick light. That was a design element we were really passionate about and works out really well for us at nighttime. And we have our induction cooker. We went with just one cooker. We don't cook a lot, but we wanted to have that available to us if we needed to make coffee or a stew or something that we can just quickly cook. We have our herringbone tile, which I think you probably would agree looks amazing, and then some decorative components and some functionality. We have our sink here. Inside the sink we have the cutting board, which will come out if we need to do it, and a pretty deep sink that we use for obviously cleaning things, and then also too from some storage when we're driving. And under the sink, traditional plumbing, all your fun stuff there, and this is where we store the lagoon table. On the opposite side, you'll see we kind of have our bath portion. This is our shower. It's a 24 by 30 inch pan. You'll see that there's wood waterproof material here, traditional shower faucet. We went with the black and the gold, which you notice in the kitchen. We also use this for storing some stuff. It actually works really great as a coat closet while we're driving in the wintertime. We have a teak mat, which we were really specific in wanting, and then obviously some of our towels. We also have the self-drying door, and over here we have the shower light switch, and then right behind we have an access panel. Our builder was very thoughtful in making sure we're able to get to the plumbing if and when we ever needed to. Cool. And then you'll also see some aesthetics here. These are railroad ties, and that was very purposeful from a design standpoint. And we hang our hats, we hang our jackets, or things we need to hang when we're in the van. And then I will take you to, I guess, the bathroom. And we really like this design. We didn't want a toilet to be shown in the shower, if that makes sense. We traveled in some vans before and we didn't like that feature, so we tucked it away here. It's easy to get to. Pop up the lid, and then you have the separate toilet, which we've done a lot of research into the toilets as well. We thought this one, from an aesthetic standpoint, looked really modern and nice, and then it's easy to clean, easy to use, and we're very happy with it. Inside here, space for storage depending on where we're going. And one more thing I want to point out before we move to the back, you'll notice that there's a little cutout here, so when you're using the toilet, your legs are comfortable. Now we are in more of the living space. We have our cabinets, tons of storage. This is what we use primarily for food. In addition, there's a little access panel to get to all of your components if in the event you need to make a repair or if you need to change one of the components. Here we have more storage. This is Noelle's space. And in the back, we have another one. Underneath the cabinets, we have some recessed lighting, which accents the bedroom really nicely. We also have some reading lights that also act as a charger. We have some decorative lights, some blackout curtains when we close that. We have our Max Air fan. Nice little plant for decorating. And then here we have a piece of art. This particular piece of art was done by my wife's grandfather, Charles Waterhouse. He's a very well-known painter, and we wanted to bring a family component into the van. This is our temperature gauge with regards to our AC unit. Power, obviously, hallway on and off. This is our pump for our water, bed light on and off, under cabinets, which you're noticing, and then the toe kick, which is off camera at the moment. And then in addition, this is a his and hers seating area. I'll quickly just show you the table that allows for us to just kind of have our time together, eating when we're just resting in the van, if we're having coffee, things like that. That slides back up under the bed, and then we have our Webasto heater, and then in addition, underneath we have ample amounts of storage. Cool. And this is our little tray that we use for our iPad when we're watching Netflix in bed. Underneath the seat that I'm in right now, there's a panel to get to some electricity for cables, and then you'll also notice a switch that turns on our gray tank heater. Before I show you how the bed works, I'm going to tell you a little bit about why we decided to go with this particular bed. Not too long ago, we rented a van by Vanish Company, and that van had a slide-out bed. We really liked the functionality of the bed. We thought it provided a ton of extra space, but you don't see a lot of sliding beds, at least not that I was able to find in the research. But we loved that trip so much. Then we got the bug to build the van, and we wanted to do it exactly right. And this bed was a big part of that. And you can quickly see, right, it acts as a day bed. So you can sit on it, you can lay on it if someone wants to just take a quick nap. And it's super comfortable, that's for sure. But it does transform into a queen size bed. So at this stage, it's a full size bed, but at nighttime, always turning it into that queen size bed.
And that was important to us because I think originally we were looking at a tiny home situation. Didn't know where we would put a tiny home though. We did not want to move from Toms River. I did not want to move from Toms River. And looking at tiny homes and thinking about how we could do that. And when we found van life, we figured that was the perfect way we could put our tiny home anywhere we wanted. And we wanted to feel like a home when we were inside. So it was important to us that we had a bedroom that felt like home to us.
We did a lot of research to find the van builder that we thought would do custom work for us. And there's a lot of great van builders. But when we landed on Drifter, they had 3 different models. And I believe this model is the Nomad, but we wanted a couple other additions to it. So we worked with their project manager. We actually worked with their owner for a long time, really great team. We worked also with a creative team. Noelle did a great job with
Kathleen.
You want to talk about that at all?
Yeah, so we wanted to really come together and collaborate on this project together, and we have similar styles and also wanted 2 different things out of the process. And so working with Kathleen, we would meet with her by Zoom and go over our vision for the inside and in some ways the outside of the van. And so thought a lot about the feelings that we wanted to experience when we were in here, the fabrics that we liked, the colors that meant things to us, all of those aspects to really pull together a vision, which she created. We were then able to pull some components, these are the things we love, these are the things we'd love to tweak with her so that we'd get the visual look that we were really going for.
And they also do there's a couple different ways you can work with them. They will, if you have a van, a DIY that maybe hasn't gone the way you wanted to, they seem to help a lot of people with that. In our particular situation, we started from scratch. The process with Drifter is they have a dealership that they work with. You could, of course, provide your own van, but if you don't have a van, they have a dealership that you can work with. And then we bought this van sight unseen, and Drifter went and picked it up, and then they did our custom build inside of it. They have three different models you can choose from. They may have changed that. I'm not quite sure right now, but they do specialize in custom work. So now we're going to show you how the bed opens.
Okay. So we have our table in here, and so when we had this bed made, this custom bed made, Drifter went so far as to build in this cool custom divot so that while the mattress is out flat, which we'll show you in a minute how it converts, it lays perfectly square over the table, so no lumps or bumps. So the way that we situate the bed is we flatten out the pillows, we pull out the frame, I hop up, flip everything forward. There's a tab built in to the mattress up here, at which point I'm able to just pull it over. The bed is already made. Once you get to this position, I'm just able to jump down, pull out the bed the rest of the way, grabbing it by these slats. Using the tab, I can pull this straight down, pop the mattress right in. So now that the bed is open, I get into the bed with a little stool, just flattens out, super easy to hop up, and we're all set. In the bed, super simple for us to just open our cabinets. From here, we also have outlets with USB and USB-C plugs for all of our devices. We have our great window shades that match up in the front. We also have our awesome lights, which we can just tap on and off and move around for reading. Something else that we wanted was for our bed to feel like a bedroom, like I mentioned before, and so it was important to us that we could sit up in it and still feel comfortable not hitting our head, and we wanted to leave plenty of room for our garage, which Domenick is going to show to you.
Cool. And here is the garage. I'll walk you quickly through. We have an outside shower. Super simple, right? We have a Wii Boost that when we are remote, we can mount on top of the van to boost our signal for our cell phones. Our intake valves, as well as for winterization. We also have a fill for our water tank. Here's all of our plumbing. So we have a Bosch hot water heater, mostly PEX plumbing. We have our pump in the back, the pump for our shower and for our sink. We also have a water filter in the back. You'll see that's blue. And we have about a 40-gallon water tank here. Lots of little nooks and crannies too to store things. We have a thermostat for the van, so we can make sure it's not freezing. We had a custom tray put in, so depending on where we're going, we get to store all of the things that we need. Have lots of fun. Here we have all of our electronics. We have our Webasto heater, we have our Renogy inverter, it's a 3000 watt, and we have 3 smart lithium batteries, 100-hour batteries there. We have our light switches for our LED lights at the top, and then we have our fuse panel as well. We also have the bug wall. You saw the bug wall in the front, we have one in the back. And then in addition to, we have these build outs, which I think make it really homey. You see the same drapes from before, and same thing on the other side, as well as a line for us to hang our shower when we need it.
Thank you very much for taking the time to give us a tour of your awesome van build here. Can you tell our viewers a little bit about what your travel plans are, how you're going to be using this van?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so we have been weekend warrioring this for a bit. So we will go out for a night or two here or there every few weeks, which we've been loving. We've been exploring the Northeast, which we will continue to do. We've taken it out on Island Beach State Park, which we love. Moving forward, we are looking forward to the time when we can take it out for a week, a month, several months at a time as our kids get older. We have our last 2 are going off to college next year, and so we are experimenting with weekend type things now and look forward to bigger trips to explore the country in the next couple of years. We have an Instagram. It is Free Spirits Van Life, and we are tracking some of our stuff. We are new to it, so we'll be adding stuff as we go.
I know we talked off camera because I have a classic Ford van, and this is the new version of the Ford van, but you did a lot of research before you bought one of these, and you did a lot of comparisons between the Sprinter and the ProMaster. Can you tell our viewers a little bit about why you went with the Transit?
Sure. I went with the Transit because I felt like from an affordability standpoint, there was a little bit of a savings versus the Sprinter. I think the Sprinter looks great, and I think the Ford looks great, but I also think it looks great modified the way that we've done it. In addition to, it's 4-wheel versus all-wheel drive, and I've spent a lot of time focusing on that. Four-wheel drive will get you on the beach, and we wanted to be on the beach. And all-wheel drive got us on the beach as well. But we went with the all-wheel drive because we felt like it was more practical to use for rain, for sleet, for snow, right? Where four-wheel drive we weren't going to use as much. And taking this van on Island Beach State Park in pretty soft, pretty deep sand, it did really well. So I'm really happy with that decision. And then finally, too, I felt like, you know, Ford is a great brand and they are local. And from a service standpoint, we probably would save some money and also have more access to Ford products if we needed it.
Well, the van is beautiful inside and out. Inside it looks like a home, and outside it looks like it's rugged and adventure. It's a good combination. You guys are a great couple. I wish you much luck with your new van purchase. How long have you had this for?
Since November.
November.
We are brand new.
Yeah.
So what are some of the trips that you've done with it?
We've been to New York, Pennsylvania, various parts of New Jersey. We take a hike as a couple once a month, and so we've been doing that for this is our third year doing that. And so for us, we just have been finding various state parks or cool places to hike and get outside to do that hike together, which is really important to us. And having the van allows us to go a little further than we would normally be able to for just a regular day trip. Then we take advantage of date nights while we're out, we have found some of the most fantastic restaurants in towns in New Jersey, New York, and Pennsylvania recently, as well as coffee shops. So we are loving it.
And is it like KOA resort type campgrounds, state parks, or do you do like Harvest Host? Or?
We are Harvest Hosters, which we just absolutely love. And then we've also been doing some research into working with townships and finding municipal lots here and there, but asking permission, making sure that we are places we are welcome to be. We've not done KOA type stuff, but we are definitely open to that. We have lots of different apps, Campendium, Seeker, all the different ones, so we can find different types of places, but we've been harvest hosting it.
That's nice because you are fully self-contained. You
Yes.
got a great waste tank, a freshwater tank, 3,000 watt inverter, a couple hundred watts of solar panel on the roof, and really the only thing you have to do is find a way to fill water, empty water, and empty. Is there a urine jug with that?
There's a urine jug, and believe it or not, by the time the trip's over, we do it right at home. So that's what's nice about that toilet too. It's easy to maintain.
Well, that's a good tip. Well, thank you guys for being on the channel today. This is Patrick with New Jersey's Outdoor Adventure YouTube channel. I'll see you soon.